Well, hello there. It's your old friend Danny Deals. Not so old because I'm here blabbering at you multiple times a day, but once again, we'd like to thank you for tuning in to Un Poco Mas, the show where we give you just a little bit more on behalf of executive producer Marque Lopez and supervising producer Stock Karen, depicted here. Looks like my stream is buffering slightly, but in any case, guys, Stock Karen is with us. I would like to just talk with you guys today about SoFi Technologies Inc., ticker symbol SOFI. Um, we are taking a look at the stock today. It is June 21st, 2023. It is 12:10 p.m. out here in beautiful sunny Los Angeles. About 50 minutes until the markets close down for this Wednesday. Two more trading days left in the week, guys. Um, when we are talking about SoFi, obviously the stock just ran up to $10 the other day and then got three sort of well timed downgrades on the stock. And what's up, Roland Dubs? And, basically killed the rally in its tracks, although two of those analysts actually raised their target price. They did call them downgrades. A lot of the like Oppenheimer said their main risk was execution, and they were downgrading purely based on valuation. But when he was interviewed on CNBC, I think Dominic Gabriel's the guy's name. He was really very bullish overall on the long-term future of SoFi. So, guys, one thing you'll notice is that volume has just dropped off a cliff here, guys. You see, we've been trading anywhere between 90 and 120 million shares per day. Even as the stock came down and then recovered just a bit, we were still trading heavy volume. Yesterday, volume got cut in half down to about 50 million, and today looks like volume is going to be even lower. We are seeing a lot of shorts covering today, guys. The borrowed change is over 6 million shares. So we had 13 million returned, 7 million borrowed. And so borrowed change net is going to be over 6 million shares returned. Guys, the estimated short percent of the free float has fallen below 12 for the first time since that short attack orchestrated by shorts, illegal coordination, all that stuff. The well timed double bullshit downgrade from the Chia Pet at Wedbush and then repeated on notes. Just emphasizing, I notice he doesn't even have his price target up anymore. He's too embarrassed. And probably, honest to God, I bet the government is investigating that whole affair there. But the shares on loan are all the way down to 160 million. They've come down 13 million just in the last 7 days. And remember, guys, that figure was over 240 million just a couple weeks ago. So they've covered over 80 million shares on loan. Days to cover is down to three. Cost to borrow still under one, and utilization is down under 70. Also, guys, worth noting, Manyi Lu of DBS reiterated a buy rating and a $10 price target, representing a 15.21% upside yesterday, guys. So notice M. Russo, SoFud. I hope you were able to get your shares changed over, M. Russo. Don't worry if they're in limbo. The changeover will happen from SoFi to SoFud. Just hold your breath and wait for it. Little turd trick my grandfather taught me. When you something doesn't happen, just hold your breath and wait for it. And by the time you wake up from sleepy time, oh, Santa will be there. Um, looks like six of you are watching this live stream. Anything you guys want to hear about regarding the SoFi stock? Otherwise, I'm just going to keep this one short. Just wanted to update you guys. Look at the options here, guys, for this week, June 23rd calls. You'll see the heavyweight coming in at 9, and then also 950 and 10. Also a lot of action at 850, but that heavyweight falls between just over the 9 mark if you look at it. So they are absolutely destroying those options, but it looks like there is hope if you are holding on to some of those. They killed a hell of a lot of options last week. Man, a lot of calls died on the vine. And some people have suggested to me that retail is collecting that premium and selling these, and that's mostly covered calls. Bull pucky. That is that are those are market makers killing most of those options. I would bet my life on it. In any case, guys, SoFi stock up now 12 cents or 11 cents, bouncing around 1.34 percent on the day. Um, 1.4 over on Ortex. So we had, I would consider that, in the face of all this nonsense, we have an upgrade. So guys, the last six ratings, if you get above the Chia Pet, the last five, we've had buys and holds, but 10, 10, 8, and 8. And then before that, a 14. Jeffries upgraded to 11. We had City at 10. So, guys, it's important just to note that even though we've been hearing the media say downgrade, 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 SoFi is going to crash, SoFi is going back to low, all this stuff, guys, that's not what the analysts are saying. That's not what the price action is saying. And that's not where buyers and sellers are meeting. If you take a look at this chart, guys, we basically came down to around the $8.20 mark on June 20th. And then we started to march back up along this line. And if you note, this little trend line with this slope that indicates the last, you know, 2 days of trading as we've started to make our way back up. Note I said if we're going to trade in this consolidation channel, it'll be between 8.12 and $8.91. We got down near the bottom of that range. Now we've popped up and we need to see if we can break out above it. Now this day that we broke out above the 50-day average back on May the 26th and then into May the 30th, if you note, this slope picks up that transition exactly where the stock passed the 50-day moving average finally and broke out convincingly, and then, of course, eventually found its way out of that $8 range and up, up, up from there. So this chart actually makes a lot more sense than it might first appear. And then, guys, if we go over and just look at the price action on the day, I just want to remind you guys the algo is alive and well, guys. This is what we see with the SoFi stock just over and over and over. The stock, there's this huge buying in the morning, then they just sell it off, generally trying to stop people out at a specific level. And that level today was $8.40. Stock got just below that, and then we started to see buying pressure retesting, came back down. Notice it retests this trend line three times today, bounces off the trend line. Tests it again here at 10:54 a.m., touches it again at 1:01 p.m., and then it's been up from there. Notice the stock too was moving along the 50-day moving average and is broken out just above the 50-day and came down to test that here just like 10 minutes ago, and we bounced back off, seeing if we can get a little run going, get a little big mo going, get above that eight. If we can get above that $8.91 resistance level, I think we're going to go back over $10 in short order. I think the market is C-bar low volume indeed. I think the markets are realizing that SoFi is going to continue to do well and thrive, whether we have continued interest rate hikes, whether rates are flat, whether rates go down. If interest rates go up, we're just going to make more net interest income. We're going to get more personal loan business. If interest rates start to flatten and go down, you're going to see more student loan refis. You're going to see more home loans. With Wyndham, you're probably going to see more activity in terms of capex from other institutions that might be customers of Galileo. If people see, people get to next year and the rates start to come down, people are going to expect the economy to get moving and make a big recovery. I think other banks, other fintechs, other financial institutions, that's when they're going to want to sign contracts. You don't want to make any big changes in the down market. I think when your business could potentially be in trouble, when money's expensive, you're not going to make a lot of big capital expenditures during that time. So that's why I think Galileo's talking, it's plotting, it's working. But I think, again, Galileo is the sleeping giant in the room that is completely underestimated. SoFi paid a lot of money for Galileo and Technesis with good reason. And I believe Galileo right now, I know it's hard to value because the merger with Technesis is very new. There's been a lot of changes, but if you actually look at what that company is and what the scope of it is and what has gone into it, I think you'd have to value the Galileo Technesis company at, 2 billion or something like that. I think it's definitely worth more than the sum of its parts, and it's worth more than SoFi paid for it. And you add in, Wyndham, which I know is not part of Galileo, but it sort of goes along with this backbone. I mean, there's a lot of things. SoFi, for instance, through Galileo, they could make an app. I forget what it's called, the API or the building blocks of the app. They could make a mortgage loan app where other fintechs, other banks, whatever type of institutions that don't have any mortgage, SoFi can offer their own services on other platforms. There's just so many things we haven't scratched the surface of, that owning the backbone, owning Galileo, owning Technesis, they're able to roll things out extremely quickly. They're able to make changes on the fly. They're able to offer services like, think about some other company just starting from scratch, going out to bid. You have to hire a vendor to build your app, build your entire digital footprint, build your new website, integrate with your, brick and mortar branches, integrate with your customers, integrate with international. Like, this is going to be the kind of thing is just going to call up Galileo and you're going to say, this is what I want to do. It's going to streamline the process. It's going to take months rather than years. Like, these technology changeovers, guys, take years, and they're nightmares because they're always building these one-off suites of technology for a single company. It's like Bank of America or Wells Fargo. They're running on this crazy antiquated software. It makes things, if you've ever used their apps, like that, they're crap. Like, the big banks technology is absolute crap. Bank of America maybe a little bit better than the others, but I bank with a lot of big banks, guys, not by choice, but I just have to for business purposes, and they are terrible, terrible. In any case, guys, let me read some comments over here. John Rodriguez, you driving through the Flagstaff, cutting in. Yeah, John, get back. You can always watch it on tape, buddy. Live on tape from Hollywood. Kevin Robertson, hola, my man. 6'6" here. Is your screen blurry? Anyone? Is it me? I don't know. I could have a dirty camera or something. I did spill coffee and ruin my keyboard yesterday. I don't see how that could be related, but yeah, I think it's coming in and out of focus. I think it's trying to, probably because my forehead is so shiny. I just got an award from YouTube for having the shiniest forehead on the entire platform, so that's great, guys. I was honored. I was able to accept in person. David Harris, hello, David. How are you? Kevin Robertson, better now. Yeah, I have this fancy webcam, Logitech. Expensive. It's supposed to focus and do all these, cool, Kevin. I'm glad it worked. Anyway, guys, that was really all I had for today. Again, the shorts are covering in mass now. It's not like, oh, they're covering 500,000 or a million shares. They're covering 6 million shares today, guys. So that becomes a fairly significant portion of the short, and the short interest is down significantly. Still a lot of negative press, I would say, just overall on the SoFi stock. Um, People are still talking about, like, oh, it's inevitable that it's going to crash back down. That's not how I see the chart, guys. I see the chart very, very bullish, and the fact that money continues to come into the stock and the stock is going up today on very moderate volume, it's pretty clear the algo is trying to trade the stock sideways. And normally it would, because it would just short shares, but while they're returning 6 million net shares with only 31 million total volume, you're not going to be able to push the stock down and sideways, guys. Upstart's down, Affirm's down, Lucid's down, Palantir's down big. I mean, when, as a SoFi investor, were we ever green? And all these other stocks, just bask in it, guys. Just bask in it. Like, our little SoFi, our little pony here is actually green, and everything is red, guys. I mean, the shoe is on the other foot. Hell hath frozen over many times, but this time hell froze over, and SoFi is up a dime, a thin dime. That's one of the best times I ever made, guys. Anyway, that's the SoFi stock, guys. Toper time check. It's 12:24 p.m. on June 21st, 2023. The SoFi stock is up 10 cents or 1.2% on the day on about 30 million shares traded. Got another buy rating yesterday, another $10 price target. So a lot of analysts, those three just seem to, as soon as the stock breached that $10 psychological barrier, even for just a second, they all just, hit their red button, threw up their hands like, nah, 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 like, wake up the president. The SoFi stock just went over $10. It's like, guy, the president's been drinking. He's busy. He's got a mistress in there. Whatever's going on, but guys, the SoFi stock, again, it has been a long, long, rough road. We've seen flat days, we've seen green days where the SoFi stock just continues to get beat up and it continues to get shorted. And I would posit, and I would certainly welcome anyone to disagree with me over in the comments. Um, Tyler Binder stream keeps freezing. I'm sorry, buddy. I have why do you want the Supreme Court to rule? Yeah, I don't know why, guys. My internet can be a little bit iffy here. I work at this old, dilapidated pier on the ocean, and they're doing a lot of construction here. So if the internet slows down, not sure why. Can't control that, guys. I will try to work on it for next time. But in any case, guys, kind of lost my train of thought. Which way do we want? Well, I think Tyler Binder, the markets, the FUD machine, the Duff machine is basically we want them to rule for no forgiveness. I think that's the way the market is going to react positively for SoFi. Now, truth be told, and if you listen to Chris Lapointe at Morgan Stanley, it really doesn't make any difference either way for the company. The people that are going to get forgiveness are not SoFi's main borrowers, and it's just that he gave a lot of reasons why, but it just doesn't fit the credit profile. It doesn't fit. They're just not SoFi customers. They're not the customers that are going to refi with SoFi. The customers that are going to refi with SoFi have higher incomes. They have like graduate school loans. Most of them finish school. So a lot of the people that are in trouble, in fact, if you listen to SoFi going back a long, long time, listen to Noto, SoFi's position has been that they should do some type of forgiveness for borrowers that are in trouble and really can't pay back their loans, guys. I think everybody kind of gets out of sorts and we all say, I paid back my loans. Guys, there's a difference. Not everything is just the same. Like payback. A lot of these people, they went to like an ITT Tech and they were lied to and they were given all these loans that they didn't even know what the hell they were signing up for. And they were promised these jobs. It was basically fraud, guys, perpetuated on a lot of these, poor, unsophisticated students, just loading them with a lifetime of debt for this company that then goes out and declares, and they weren't the only one, guys. A lot of these trade schools, a lot of people are saddled with a lot of federal student loan debt, somewhat unfairly. So I am someone who believes people should 100% pay their bills. I paid back every penny of my student loans, and I was grateful to get them. I was, very happy to be able to go to college. So I'm not complaining at all, guys. But Noto realizes, like I do, and like maybe you would if you think about it, that some people choose not to pay their bills and that's not right. It's like a strategic decision, and other people actually can't pay their bills. They're trying to decide between that student loan bill and like food or keeping the lights on or getting medication or taking care of their children. And I think that's where you can look at some limited forgiveness and have a heart about how some of these programs work without just saying, hey, nobody has to pay their bills. It's not all or nothing, guys. It's not always completely black and white. So I think Noto and SoFi's position has been they're fine with some type of forgiveness, but they just want certainty that when are payments going to resume so we can plan for and run our business. SoFi's position has been totally reasonable and totally moderate the entire time, despite the woke politician crowd wanting to vilify and demonize SoFi. SoFi is not an enemy of the consumer. It's not an enemy of students. It's, in fact, SoFi treats its borrowers and customers far better than most other financial institutions. And I can testify to that firsthand because I've been a SoFi customer now for a couple of years, and I've been a bank customer for my entire life. And banks suck, and SoFi does a much better job. They give you a much better deal. Would you rather have a 0.01% interest or 4% interest? Like, and I know it's business strategy that SoFi does that, but SoFi really is a lot more consumer friendly than most other banks and financial institutions. At least that's my perception. What do you guys think? Let me know down in the comments, over in the comments, whatever it is, guys. Paul Clark, we're the new Green Goblin. Absolutely. Go Titans. Loot Bloke, are those flags the countries you visited in your background? No, those are just flags I put up to represent liberal democratic countries that at least ostensibly believe in democracy, human rights. That's really what that is. I wish I had visited all these countries, but that is not to be at that point. If anybody would like to see any other flags of those are just kind of ones people have given me, ones I've picked up, I bought on here and there, but just with everything going on, you have Taiwan, you have Ukraine, you have a lot of our NATO allies. I think we spit in the face of our allies to our own detriment, and I think we have to remember who our friends are. Certainly not a lot of countries we may have embraced the last few years. Afternoon, Danny, way behind on the live stream. Thanks for all you're doing. Thank you. Um, awesome, man. Thanks, BWUSAF. Again, big up to the Air Force guys, Space Force, all those guys, all the branches. If any of you guys are active duty veterans, really want to thank you guys. I am being a fat, lazy suburban turd. I have never served. You guys probably could have guessed that, being the curly-headed, doughy freak that I am. But anyway, guys, I try to certainly help my community in other areas, doing a lot of volunteer work, charity work, etc. But certainly would like to thank all the military folk and all the veterans out there who watch my channel. We appreciate you guys. And now more than ever, we live in a very dangerous world, and it's very important, particularly in the United States, to remember that we have an all-volunteer military, and people make a choice to serve, so the rest of us can be free and get up here on these forums and say what we want to say and do what we want to do. And we appreciate you guys here at Un Poco Mas. Let's see. Tyler Bender, our government has given trillions of dollars to the other countries. If U.S. people finally get, that's okay with me. Yeah, I get what you're saying, Tyler. A lot of people, get bent out of shape about us paying too much for NATO, about us giving a lot of foreign aid. I personally don't share those views, guys. I believe alliances have been critically important to keeping the world safe and secure since World War II era. Yes, I would like to see Europe pay more in terms of the NATO budget, and I think a lot of them have really stepped up and begun to do that and contributed. So it's a push and pull, it's a give and a take. But I think certainly the war between Ukraine and Russia has been a huge wake up call for Europe and those that were trying to sort of remain neutral. But guys, this really isn't a yeah, exactly. What will they spew at earnings? This really isn't a geopolitical show. I'm not a military analyst or anything like that, but the flags are just things that I've bought, things that I've been given for countries that I believe sort of share my worldview and values. Of course, not 100%. I'm not advocating for every policy of every government on there or anything. This is basically decoration on my whiteboard, guys. I don't know where I'm getting off on this tangent. But anyway, guys, I got to get out of here. I got to get some work done. It is 12:33 on June 21st. The SoFi stock pulling back down a little bit. Guys, you know this pattern: sell off and then trade up or sideways. Little bit of a sell off toward the end, and then the last 10-15 minutes, it probably will check mark and go slightly back up. If I don't miss my guess, just gonna throw something out there, guys. Gonna say we close today at $8.69. Guys, that's the SoFi stock. Ticker symbol is SOFI. What will FUD analysts? What will they spew at earnings? Well, they'll spew a bunch of FUD, because that's all they do, guys. It's the SoFi stock. Ticker symbol is SOFI. My name is Danny Deals. The show is Un Poco Mas for Hurricane Lopez and Stock Karen. We'd like to thank you for watching. Hope you guys have a great rest of your Wednesday, and we will talk to you real soon.